Hello. We are not in my floor, as you can see. I decided to take a walk today. So, should probably be doing this more often, honestly. Need to do some jogging and running and all of that good stuff as well, but well, I just kind of wanted to go on a walk. It's a lot brighter than when I prefer to go on winter walks. There is something about seeing the snow while it's dark out that is just really peaceful to me. But this is a park, I think, and the trail isn't a park, but the entrance to the trail is a park, and they'll close the gates before I would be able to get out here when I would like to. Luckily, there was only 2 cars in the parking lot, so hopefully I won't see anybody and embarrass myself by doing this, because, good Lord, I am not nearly a big enough personality on the internet to not be horrifically embarrassed seen recording myself yet. So if someone looks like they're gonna come, I'm gonna be real quiet and probably put my phone down like I'm not recording. But man, it is bright. It is bright as hell. Even if it weren't for the fact that the sun is directly in my face, driving today has been difficult because of the snow glare. Oof. There's a little creek down there. It's got ice on it. The glare is even worse off of that. Good Lord. I should have brought a glove. My hand is cold as hell. This is the trail that I found my cool stick on. Down there in that creek bed. Well, not on that side, on this side of it. On a walk with my ex, we went down like next to the creek, and there was a root halfway sticking out the ground, and I broke the other half off and was like, this is my new walking wizard stick because it looks really cool. Speaking of things that look cool, this is the jacket that I always get complimented on. I got complimented on it not 15 minutes ago while I was in the pet store. And man, my hand is freezing. I'm switching hands. All of the compliments like that I get are what makes me want to make my own line of like jackets and coats and things of that nature, suit coats, like I talked about in my last video. For those of you that actually stuck around past the minute mark, talked about how I wanted to make a set of a line of like it could be like heavy coats. I could do heavy coats, but I was thinking more along the lines of like fancy wear, you know, like instead of wearing a suit or a tuxedo, you could wear this basically armored version. And my thought was have 2 versions. One where the metal is just like stainless steel or something cheap, still have it be like engraved or filigreed or embossed or whatever, to make it look fancy, but have that be the cheap option so that schmucks like me could actually afford it. It would still probably be, you know, thinking about it, it would probably be like $1.50 for like the full suit type shit. Maybe like a few $100 for just the coat, because that's about what this one was. I think this was like $200 coat back when I had a job and was making money and such. Bought this as a heavy coat. But then I would also have like a functional version, and I don't think I would settle for anything less than bulletproof on that metal, and that would be much more high-end, much more expensive. I have no idea what that would be, but I was kind of thinking, yesterday I described it as like, imagine Ranger from Fallout New Vegas meets Lord of the Rings Elven Armor, but that doesn't quite do it justice, because I wouldn't necessarily be using either of those styles. That's just to give you like a generalized idea of what they might look like. I've got a really clear picture in my head, but it's hard to describe it. Imagine almost Geralt of Rivia, like the Witcher armor. That, but with like actual metal plates instead of chainmail, and probably with an overcoat to go with, and in a fancy style. We're coming up on a bridge here. A lot of snow. Clearly that has not stopped people, nor will it stop me, because I like this bridge quite a bit. I like bridges in general. They're nice. Someone has wrote filth on this, so that's neat. Filth, an odd word to choose for your graffiti, but who am I to judge? I don't do graffiti, so I don't know what the popular graffiti choices are. My other hand is frozen now. That's just going to be the trend of this video, I think. Me having cold hands. It's cold out. There's some more graffiti. What does it say? Drake? Drain? Drain? Where are you trying to drain? It's a bridge. Speaking of, I'm going to get off of said bridge before I drop my phone off of it, because I have bad luck when it comes to life. And I don't need to tempt fate. Oh boy. This is going to be a long form video for sure. Given that most of my viewers only watch to around the minute mark, this is kind of a waste. But for those of you that don't, thank you for making the endeavor worth recording. Oh man, my nose is going to start dripping. This trail goes on for quite a ways. At one point, my ex and I decided to just walk until we didn't feel like walking anymore. And over the course of several hours, proceeded to walk our happy asses like 15 miles down the trail without water or food or anything. Just, let's go walking. A bunch of autistic idiots, that's what we are. But yeah, then we had to walk all the 15 miles back. That was an experience. It was pitch black. We couldn't barely see in front of us. Having to use our phone flashlights, which was rapidly killing the battery on our already almost dead phones. Lots of little adventures I've been on. A lot of which, thanks to Kansas's bullshit laws, have dubious legality, and thus I cannot mention them on the YouTubes until Kansas gets its shit together and stops certain laws that they have from being a thing. Now, I will say, nothing that I'm implying was harmful in any way, shape, or form. So don't worry about that. It's just certain things that you can do perfectly fine in other states you can't do here, and so I can't talk about it. Even though I may or may not have done it. May or may not have. Allegedly. Or was around people who were doing it. So a lot of funny stories that are unfortunately just in the vault for the moment. But funny story that I was reminded of just because of my YouTube recommendations. Back when Skrillex was the hot thing in, like, what was that, 10 or 11 years ago, 2012, 2013, somewhere in there. I was ripping songs from YouTube onto my MP3 player, just to listen to while I did whatever. I just had this crappy, I still have it, actually. I need to yoink all the songs off of it and go through and find some of the old ones that I've forgotten about. But I was in the process of ripping rock and roll. And my sister came in to ask me to use the computer, because we just had a family computer. Those of you who are around my age will know that type of struggle. But she came in and asked to use the computer, so I paused the music to listen to whatever she was going to ask, and she asked it, and I did not mean to get this amazing timing, I should point that out, but all I said was just no, and then I unpaused. So let me tell you what my sister heard. No, and fuck you. Blah blah blah. I paused at the perfect moment in rock and roll where he just has that line, and fuck you, and then it goes into a bass drop, and it was hilarious. And I wish that back in the day we cared more about recording things, because it's one of those types of things that's like, well, no one is ever going to really believe that it happened because I didn't capture it on camera. I've got several more stories like that with someone that used to be my friend and is no longer my friend. I've got like 2 friends now, so that's a thing. That's fun. But I don't see either of them very often either. Like once a month type shit. One of them, the buddy that I work out with more, I see him around once a month. My other friend, once or twice a year, when we both have the time to hang out. But anyways, the you wouldn't believe it unless you were there or if we had recorded it moment was we were just playing music on YouTube on my Xbox, and we were playing Drowning Pool's Bodies, and the song went 1, nothing wrong with me, 2, nothing wrong with me, 3, nothing wrong with me, 4, nothing wrong with me, and then YouTube crashed and said, something went wrong. Really, really wish I had recorded that. I mean, we had no reason to be recording. We were just hanging out, so. Note to self, hang out with people in the future and record it. So I have a lot of really funny stuff that has happened while I've just been hanging out with people. And a lot of it I don't even remember because my memory is trash. So I've got plenty of experiences that are just locked in a vault. Like, for example, I have a Gravedigger shirt, the monster truck, and it's from the 30th anniversary show that they did here in Kansas, and that was last year. That was 2022, and I thought that was a Gravedigger shirt that I had for like years and years and years and years and years, because I used to have a different Gravedigger shirt that I outgrew, unfortunately. But I thought that it was that shirt, and so I was like, well, where the hell did I get this Gravedigger shirt? And then I remembered me and my ex went to that Monster Jam 30th anniversary show. And honestly, all I remember is walking through the stadium. Thank you, train. I'm not trying to record a YouTube video or anything. That's what I get for walking by railroad tracks. But I don't even have a full memory of it. I vaguely remember walking through the stadium and the crowd and everything. I don't remember what I was wearing, what she was wearing, what monster trucks we saw. None of that. I don't remember none of that. This is trauma blocked at this point. She was messed up along the same vein as someone else that messed me up prior. So it's trauma on top of trauma, and unfortunately that locks away a lot of your memories if you've been dealing with it your whole life like I have. So I need to get on Lion's Mane Mycelium again to help unfuck that whole situation. That requires money, which I don't have much of. I'm leeching off of my parents at the moment like a parasite because nowhere will hire me. I seen a comic made about it just the other day, which lets me know that it's not just me going through this, because I'm not joking. I've probably put in hundreds of applications and gotten maybe like 15 interviews, and even the ones that I thought went really, 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 really well, where they said they were going to get back to me, they never got back to me. Do you guys hear that? What the fuck is that? Might be coyotes. Sounds like people though, which is way scarier. We got hella coyotes out here. We got hella meth heads out here too though. Now, I am not worried about either of those. Personally, I'm not going to show it because YouTube doesn't like that either, but safe to say I am strapped at the moment, because you stay strapped or you get clapped. I got a nice 17 and 1 in the chamber to keep me safe, so as long as there's not 19 coyotes or crackheads, I'm fine. Actually, if it's a crackhead, it's 19 would be a much bigger problem. Human body is disgustingly resilient when it's pumping adrenaline through itself. So, unless I did some real questionable marksmanship type stuff to make sure they stayed down that would definitely get me in legal hot action. I don't think one mag would be enough to take on more than one crackhead or meth head or whatever, tweaker, whatever you want to call them. So I guess if I see more people, I'm gonna book it. Shoot them in the knees and run like hell. Never gonna catch me, never gonna catch me. But kind of a morbid topic, I guess. I don't really necessarily need to be worried about that because I don't see any crackheads at the moment. Luckily, everything around me is pretty deserted. I'm not going to show too much that I think could be like identifiable markers because I don't want people to come find me. I feel like that's kind of everyone on the internet. No one wants anyone to know where they live. And I don't want you guys to know where I live. So please don't try and find out where I live. I mean, there's no reason to anyways. What are you going to do? Take what little shit I got? You're going to try and risk your life over that? Please don't. Please do not. I ain't got no money, so you can't get that out of me. I got some neat stuff, but like it's not going to be worth the drive. It's not worth the drive. Someone near you has that too, you freaks. All jokes. I don't think anyone would be interested enough in me to try some shit like that. I really hope not. If you are, seek help. Because that's weird. But see, this is my problem. I've forgotten how to run, kind of. I used to be real fast, and now I'm not, because I haven't run in years. I'd like to get a bike, because I used to do a lot of cycling. And I feel like that would get my legs back in the, let's move every day, like a lot type thing. I don't know. Get them back in that kind of range of motion where they're used to it. Because at the moment, I don't do a whole lot with my legs, and they're getting chicken-legged, and I hate it with a burning passion. I also hate that I can't really run anymore. Like, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Everybody's supposed to be able to run, but now, it could have just been because I was wearing combat boots, but that's never really stopped me in the past from running, so it was just a real awkward time when I tried to run last. I don't want that to repeat ever. I don't like it. Well, we're getting up on where this trail meets a street, and it's about time, according to my timer, for me to turn around anyways. So, back the same way that we just came. Man, my hand is cold. Oh, okay. I just remembered a story because intrusive thoughts go burr. Anyone who has had a gun, a pistol specifically, will have probably had the temptation to just pop a couple rounds into the dirt nearby if there's nobody near you. You shouldn't give in to that temptation. It makes gun owners look bad, and it's irresponsible. Plus, if there's something hard in the ground like a rock, you might catch a ricochet, which you don't want to do that. That sucks. But I've had a friend who's done that, one time, me and my buddies, whole group of us, and the only one that I'm going to name, his name is Tyler. He's a trucker now. That's why I'm not really worried about anybody picking up on him or where he is or what he does, because he's all over the place. He's a trucker. But before he was a trucker, he was just a degenerate like us who didn't have a whole lot to do. So one time we are up at this place that's semi-secluded, but not really. Like, it's in the middle of the fucking city, kind of in a hoodish area, not really, directly next to a school. And it's I'm not going to describe the type of place because it's a location, you know. It would be if life were a Bethesda RPG, it would be a named location. So not going to name drop it, but we were up there hanging out, and right as we were done hanging out, he was like, "Oh yeah, check out this new pistol that I got. You guys might want to leave because I'm about to mag dump into the dirt here." And we were like, "Yeah, okay, sure." So we start, leisurely walking back to my car because we thought he was going to wait for us to leave. Nope. No, he did not. Nobody had ears in, so we were all kind of startled when he just pop, 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 pop. It was a real, oh, fuck, And then we skedaddled to the car and hauled ass out of there because, like I said, middle of the city. And as we get a couple minutes down the road, not even a couple minutes, literally more like 30 seconds. We get about 45 seconds down the road out of this place's parking lot when we see a cop hauling ass towards the place. So we called Tyler and we were like, "Yo, you might want to get the fuck out of there. There's a cop about to ream you." And he was like, "Yeah, I left almost I finished mag dumping when you guys backed out, so I hopped in my shit and got out of there too. I passed the cop as I left." That cop was probably just like, "I know it was you motherfuckers, but I can't do nothing." Funny situation. Absolutely irresponsible, but that's why I do not advocate to do that type of thing. I will just tell you about someone that I know who did it. I'm sure as shit not doing it. I don't want to catch no negligent discharge charges. I ain't got no money for no court fees or nothing. I'm hoping that I have enough money to get both a new car, since my truck got totaled, and the PC, so that I can start making more content of a better variety. There's a person, I'm putting my phone down. Said I was gonna do that. I wasn't joking. I am very socially anxious. I do not want to be recording just like those people who go vlog in the middle of crowded city streets. Catch them looks from strangers. I don't deal well with looks from strangers, so I I just don't like being looked at all, if I'm being perfectly honest. I know there's like a special, there's a name for it. The fear of being looked at. It's not really a phobia though. Like I'm not afraid of it. It just makes me really uncomfortable. It might be more of like because I'm pretty sure I am very, very mildly autistic. Like just the slightest bit of autism. Like just about as high functioning as you can get. My brother has it much worse than I do. It's obvious with him. He is very developmentally disabled. And it could just be a hint of autism. That is why I don't like being looked at, because I've also had problems with like crowded spaces, loud noises, things of that my whole life. It could be a result of trauma. That's another thing that I just considered. Could just be I don't like being looked at because I've been hostilely targeted so many times. I don't know. But yeah, I don't like it. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. Wanted to make sure those people didn't pull a quick Yui and we're coming back already, because that would have been awkward. Now I have to worry about them sneaking up on me and seeing me recording. I'm gonna walk quicker. I can't speak. Quicker. Also, my voice sounds weird to myself at the moment. I think I have like an ear infection or something in my left ear. Because it's got that kind of like, you know when your ear needs to pop and the sound kind of like dulls down? It's been like that for like a week. And I've been waiting for it to either go away or to bother me enough to make me actually want to go into a doctor about it. So it's about at that point. It is about at that point. A nice little view. I love views like this. Look at all the birds. I just noticed that. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but there's a lot of birds. One time, out my bathroom window, I saw something. I recorded it too. I might upload that after this if people want to see it. It's not very high quality, especially because it's through a window. But right outside my house, there was a swarm of dragonflies. Like in the video, it's just gonna look like a bunch of flies, like little dots buzzing around. Because, like I said, recording it through a window. But they were dragonflies. And I recorded because I was like, holy shit, I have never seen that many dragonflies in one spot ever. Ever. You know what this walk is reminding me of? All of the nature places here in Kansas. Like the arboretums and whatnot. I am going to make videos come springtime, I think, probably, obviously, of me touring those places. Which is going to be in public, and it's going to be with people around, and that's going to be kind of awkward, but I love those places so much. I would love to work in one, but I've never seen any kind of application for anything like that ever pop up on Indeed, and you'd probably need, I'm sure they'd be like, oh, you have to have like a bachelor's degree in this, or such and such degree in that, or and it's like, but do I really though? Can't you just show me what you do? Like, I don't have to have one of them super high tech involved positions if that's too much, if I actually do need a degree in that. But I'd love to just do something there, you know? It probably doesn't pay well enough either. That's the other thing. Probably can't make a living off of it, which is sad. Can't make a living off of nothing nowadays. Not a decent one. Doesn't seem like. Because even if I were to get hired for like $15 an hour somewhere, 15 is the new $7.25 an hour, so ain't gonna make much difference. Part of me wishes that I would have tried harder in school so I could have gone to college and gotten one of them fancy degrees to actually do something that I enjoy. Part of me realizes that would have been a bad idea anyways, because I don't like being stuck in one lane like that, and I would not be satisfied, especially in one scientific field. I have always been very, very interested in biology and just science in general, honestly. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an entomologist. And so I studied insects and arachnids and things of that nature quite a bit, as well as, lizards and snakes and all of that stuff. I still have quite a few books on reptile biology. And if I were to go into one specific scientific field, I would just get annoyed because, I want to learn all of it. But in order to get a college degree in any of it, I would have to do other bullshit classes completely unrelated to my major. And I don't want to put myself through that. That is a waste of time. I wish there was a trade school for that type of stuff, colleges, honestly, I don't see as educational institutions anymore. They are money laundering institutions, because all they do is sell ridiculously overpriced books, ridiculously overpriced courses, and involve themselves too much. I don't know what the political leanings of scientific schools tend to be, but if I had to sit through some political course because I'm trying to get my science major, I would be pissed as hell. Doesn't matter what kind of political course either, honestly. My politics for the government are frankly burn it down. I'm not on either side. The very offices themselves are corrupt, so it doesn't matter who you put in them. You can't just vote new people in. Have the good people take over the bad jobs. That's the point. The jobs themselves have been corrupted. The offices themselves have been corrupted. And in order to root out the infestation, we are going to need to burn the tree to the ground and plant a new one. Kind of a bad analogy, because I'm not saying burn the tree of liberty down. I'm saying water it with the blood of tyrants. It is definitely about time. So I would be very upset to be forced into any kind of political course just for the sake of trying to further my actual education. There's a lot of questions that I think would be really interesting to study the answers to, or try and find answers to. Both. And unfortunately, that is somewhat closed off because of the institutions that are supposed to facilitate that higher learning. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that are going to be like, wah. You can learn everything yourself online if you really want to. Yeah, I know. But the whole point of having a teacher is to have someone guide you through it. And I can do my own research. I can. But it is a monumental amount more effort, especially when science is involved. Like, I don't know how much your average person knows about science, but here's a fun fact. We don't know anything. Everything that we think we know, we are really only postulating at, theorizing about. Nothing is confirmed. That's why scientific theory is used as a term, because technically we can't prove any of it. That's why science keeps evolving. That's why technological innovation is possible, because things that we think we cannot do now, we probably will be able to do in the future. It's also one of my just to go off on a bit of a tangent, that's my biggest problem with religious people that are like, well, if the Big Bang didn't create the universe, then what did? Oh, you don't have an answer? That means I'm right, because I do. Like, no, motherfucker. We don't have an answer yet. Just like the people way back in the day didn't have an answer for what tornadoes were, or tsunamis, or things like that. So they were all acts of God. Lightning was an act of God. Nope. Natural phenomena. We just didn't know how to explain it yet. I would be willing to bet that the universe is a natural phenomena that we do not know how to explain yet. Or the easier explanation is it all started when someone flipped the switch and turned the simulation on. Honestly, at this point, that would make more sense to me. Because, you know, the start of our universe is very similar to the startup of a program, is it not? There was nothing, then there was everything. If the program is off, there's nothing, and then when you start it, it runs its whole thing. So, entirely possible, highly probable that we are in a simulated universe, in which case, wouldn't it be neat if they could simulate one that was a bit more fucking fun? That's something that annoys the hell out of me. I've probably gone down this tangent too before on video, but like, if the multiverse theory is correct, which it probably is, there is a separate reality for anything you can think of. So, for example, there is a reality where, I don't know, superpowers are real. There's a reality where magic is real. There's a reality where this world is exactly the same, except it's kind of like a fantasy isekai anime or something like that. All of those are probably real, based on probability. And yet here we are in this one, the most mundane of them. As of yet. If the non-mundane aspects of our universe just haven't come to pass yet, isn't that a troll on us too? Can you imagine if we're living in the Warhammer 40k universe? Oh, I got a call coming in. Well, I had a call coming in. Anyways. And we're just way in the past. I think in the Warhammer universe, currently in our time, the Eldar are ruling the galaxy. Fairly certain that's what's going on in the 21st century in the Warhammer universe. Could be wrong about that. Anyways, I'm going to call back whoever just called me, and I'm almost to my car anyways. The walk's about over. So, thanks for tuning in to this whole 45-minute video, if you did. If not, fair enough. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.